Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome back. It's the 22nd of July, and Kaiser's here on the couch with me today, and we're coming to you with a whole bunch of things to talk about. But I guess the big news that's taken over this morning is that Hunter Biden going nuts one more time. It's my belief that he has to be back on something to have the curse fest that took place in some podcast yesterday with regard to F this and F that and F this person and F that person. It was just a riot to watch on how disheveled a character this is. And in my estimation, he's just very upset over the fact that the gravy train for him dried up. He no longer can cajole people to buy pieces of third-grade artwork for $50,000 anymore, using his father as a leverage point to get it. He can't fly on our Air Force One any longer to go and pick up money from the Ukraine or China or the Russian mayor's wife, and so on and so on. So I guess it's taken an effect on him after all his expenditures of all the money that he has had squirreled away. Looks like, in my estimation, looking at him, he's probably gone through all that now, and he's angry about people's books that have been written, telling the truth about where his father actually was at in a cognitive state and how well he helped cover it up. And in my estimation, I believe he was one of the people operating the auto pen behind everybody's back and advising him, because as Joe Biden once said, Hunter's the smartest man I know. Well, if you're going to figure that he is the smartest man that you know, you've got another thing coming. This guy is a little loony, and now they're giving him one more time the stage as a platform for him to get on all of the news media and try to stay somewhat relevant in a life gone bad for him. So there you have the news, big news this morning. Everyone on all of the mainstream media channels is avoiding talking about the embarrassment of it all. But when you get onto the social platforms, you'll quickly see that a lot of people are talking about just how bad it was. But again, the mainstream media will cover up anything to do with the Biden and the Biden family. And now the news that broke yesterday and the day before about Obama's involvement in a lot of the nonsense that took place is taking over the news cycle one more time. So let's throw Hunter in there to use it as a distraction one more time. Let's put the cokehead on TV and take away all of the pointing fingers that are looking at the Obama administration right now. But let's take a look right here at what it's like when you get thrown off the gravy train.
I probably smoke more Parmesan cheese than anyone that you know, I'm sure, Tracy. I got to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. F you. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your garden? Who do you think is here by the sheer just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance. And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the criminals?
Kiss your mother with that mouth? You've gone mental.
I say, you. How are we getting those people back from Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the president of El Salvador and say, you either send them back or I'm going to invade. It's a crime what they're doing. He's a dictator thug.
Bukele or Trump?
Both.
Yeah.
Are you high?
But I can't imagine that. I mean, it, obviously, yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, God bless him. I hope that he comes to his senses and shuts his mouth, because he's just putting himself deeper in. But I guess if you have a blanket pardon, you can get away with mostly anything that you want to, and have your entire past erased. And if that's the case, you think he'd be a little bit better behaved. And the threat of him running for president and bombing El Salvador is a little scary. Not that it would ever happen. I don't think there's enough deranged Democrats out there to vote him into office. And all of a sudden, they're throwing Bernie Sanders out there to throw him under the bus, to lie about, different things that are going on. And he's put up to lying for the Democratic Working Party one more time, because he is for the worker. And he does not like Donald Trump. So this is why you have to listen to his rants and raves, in which he lies all along about everything. Let's just take a look right here.
Thanks very much for joining me. Let me be frank. I have no idea what is in the Epstein files, who is in the Epstein files, or whether or not these files actually even exist. But this I do know. Jeffrey Epstein was an extremely wealthy guy who hung out with some of the wealthiest and most powerful people in our country and the world, including Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, multiple billionaires, and Donald Trump. And this I also know. During his presidential campaign, Donald Trump said very clearly that he would release the Epstein files. My response, Mr. President, do it. Do what you promised the American people you would do, and stop trying to deflect attention away from what you promised. Be transparent the way you promised you would be. Tell the truth like you promised. Because hiding whatever he's hiding with the Epstein files is not the first time, to say the least, that he has lied to the American people. He promised that his big, beautiful bill wouldn't touch Medicaid. Instead, the bill is going to take away Medicaid from 17 million Americans. Why is he slashing Medicaid? So we can give $1 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1% and $900 billion in tax breaks to the corporate world. In other words, he is making his very rich friends much richer while making life harder for working families. But that is not all. Trump is attacking every single day the very foundations of American democracy. He is usurping the responsibilities of Congress and is illegally refusing to allocate the money that Congress appropriated for education, housing, and other basic needs. He is ignoring court decisions that he doesn't like and attacking universities who are teaching courses he doesn't like. He's going after law firms that represented clients he doesn't like. Further, he doesn't like a free press, and he doesn't want criticism. He has sued ABC, Meta, the Wall Street Journal, and CBS, and he has cut funding for PBS and NPR. Enough is enough. Too many Americans have fought and died to defend freedom and democracy, to defend the First Amendment and the right to dissent. That is what makes America great. Whether Donald Trump likes it or not, we are and will remain a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, not a country run by a bunch of billionaire oligarchs who want to move this country to an authoritarian society. Thank you.
He's incredible. And he's going to come out and say these things one too many times before he leaves his cushy space in in living in his 3 homes and amassing the amount of money that he has amassed, which no one knows how, on the job that he has paying what it does. But he's joined the club that you and I cannot belong to for fear of finding out just exactly how it's working inside the great halls of our Congress. And people that never worked a day in their life, not one single day, other than a political position, should really be looked at. And we do need term limits to prevent these people from aging out of our Congress. People with bad ideas, people that do not like our Constitution, people that do not like our country that are sitting in the halls of Congress. Just look at the squad that everyone on the Democratic side is so scared of offending at any given time. It makes you wonder why people vote these people in the first place, unless there's some shenanigans that happen in those voting cycles, like we know now has happened through the case with Obama, that is going to skyrocket into either oblivion when they cover it up one more time, or into the court system where it will be found out by the American people exactly what went on in 2016 with the Russia hoax bull that they tried to shove down our throats. And then when it starts to come out, it will quickly uncover what took place in the 2020 election, which we all know now may have been tampered with. So let's go to Cory Booker and his new rant about out-and-out lies that he wants to portray on the American population. So let's take a look right here.
We respect each other in this committee. We respect the understanding that we have things to say. But yet we're doing this in a way that makes no sense to me. And it makes no sense to me because we're not trying to do things like force the committee to close or force a 2-hour rule. This is about understanding that people on this side have a responsibility to state their issues. Mr. Sir, you could call me out of order because this is out of order. This undermines the basic decency of this committee. Yes, maybe overrule a Rule 4, but at least address the Rule 4 point of order that senators were elected to debate issues and debate nominees. This is absolutely insane. What is the rush? Sir, I am interrupting because you're interrupting a regular point of order. At least address my point of order. I have the right to do that by the rules of this committee. If you want to overrule the rules of committee, then do so. But this is not...
Well, Booker is a piece of work, not an honest man, not in favor of anything for you and I. It's all about the elites in the Democratic Party that don't want to give up their gardeners. They don't want to give up the people who clean your hotel rooms. This was clearly stated by Hunter Biden just yesterday. They don't want to give up their gardeners. They don't want to give up people that they can pay less to rather than giving them a livable wage. And these people are all guilty of this, every one of them. And then you got Hunter yesterday going after Nancy Pelosi. They're imploding. This is a Humpty Dumpty party. It's fell off the wall. And they're trying to get people like Hunter Biden and Barack Obama and Cory Booker to put this Humpty Dumpty back together again, and their glue is not working. They're using a Marxist glue to try and put back this party, and it's not going to hold. Not when there's still enough American patriots in this country that can fight against that and not let that happen. This is one of the reasons why these immigrants were let to run free in our country, unchecked and unvetted, and a lot of criminals being part of it. Probably some really nice people got in under that open door policy of Mayorkas and Harris, but they didn't do it legally, so that makes them illegals. You can cover it up and call them undocumented. You can call them anything you want to call them, but they are here illegally. They did not produce the paperwork or the visa applications to enter this country. They entered this country illegally, given passes by a sitting president and his border czar and the person, Mayorkas, that was supposed to have a handle on where all these children went and all the missing kids that they're now finding locked away in trailers somewhere that are being trafficked or used as slave labor in marijuana camps. And by the way, some of those in California looked with favor upon by the Governor Newsom out there, who thinks that he is going to be elected your next president. That's how delusional these people are, and we're not buying into it any longer. We need to realize right now who Gavin Newsom really is, how smart, if any, that he is, and the like of him running through the cities such as New York, Chicago, and California is a lost effort as far as I'm concerned. When you have an organization like In-N-Out Burger that decided that they can no longer do business there and they're going to move to Tennessee. That announcement came yesterday, and if you listen to the CEO, she's quite the woman. She told exactly why you cannot no longer do business in the state of California. That's the governor of California that is condoning this, with mayors peppered through that state in different regions, such as L.A., where they have no idea what they're doing and could care less about their population and don't care. They just don't care. So Booker lies and tells you stories. Let's just think about that. But anyway, here's Hunter going after Nancy right here.
And you would have the Speaker Emeritus that would say, well, you know, I'm going to leave it up to, but I don't know. And they had already made a decision. And when I say they, I mean the Speaker.
So bitter.
And, you know, I heard Alexander Pelosi say something, call my like, put your big girl pants on to my mom or something. And I kind of feel like saying, who the do you think you are? I would never speak about your mom that way.
Yeah.
I would never speak about your father that way. I would never insult your parents that way.
I seriously doubt that.
Well, that's going to bring us to the exit into Stupid Town today. We have a few things for you to look at there. Hopefully you'll find it amusing. I find it very threatening in some cases, and I find it very sad in other cases. Very, very sad that we have a amount of people in this country that cannot think properly without being told how to think by mainstream media, legacy media, newspapers that are no longer relative, and going on to places like X and saying what they have to say. X, for some reason, did not like me posting the Kaiser Report there any longer, so my account was suspended yesterday. So there we have it. If you tell the truth, even X now is going through, or people are complaining. There's a lot of nutcases on X that when I don't really spend a lot of time there. I post the Kaiser Report there. However, something or someone has made a complaint against me, and let's guess who that would be. Possibly, do they have blue hair and something stuck in their nose? Yeah, but we don't know why. I did put an appeal in to find out why. There was no explanation other than I broke their rules, and I don't see how I did that because I don't post on there other than put the Kaiser Report up. And if I'm getting by with no charges on YouTube channel, I can't understand why a platform like X would just randomly decide to cancel my account or suspend my account. So that's X for you. Formerly Twitter, in case you were wondering. Truth Social still allows me to post my things on there. I'm happy with that. I'm also on Rumble. I post my thing up there on Rumble, usually daily. I did not yesterday because I spent too much time trying to figure out what happened with the Twitter channel. But let's take the exit right now to Stupid Town, and we'll see what's going on there.
Jimmy Kimmel's a loser. They all have bad ratings.
From the optics standpoint, the timing could not be worse for CBS. Colbert is such an outspoken Trump critic. He's just back from vacation, and as he showed there on Monday on his first night back from vacation, he's also a thorn in his parent company's side.
As someone who has always been a proud employee of this network, I am offended, and I don't know if anything will ever repair my trust in this company.
So this looks to a lot of Colbert's fans like another form of capitulation by CBS to the President of the United States.
I don't give a shit.
I'm told by a source close to the network that The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is now technically unprofitable.
Damn!
So that does give the company a financial reason to end the show. However, it's not as if Colbert was given a chance to take a pay cut or maybe change the format of the show or move out of the Ed Sullivan Theater. This seems to have happened all at once, and it comes on the verge of that big Paramount Skydance merger. Who's taking over Skydance? Larry Ellison, a friend of President Trump, and his son David. So there may be a lot more to this story.
they suffer from a thing called TDS. Do you know what that is?
I was triggered. I admit it, triggered. I wanted to shame him.
It's a horrible, horrible terminal disease.
I'm not afraid of Donald Trump.
It destroys the mind.
He's a bully.
It destroys the mind before the body, but the body eventually goes.
I've dealt with older white guys trying to keep me down my whole life.
TDS is Trump derangement syndrome.
I think he, I'm going to be honest, he broke me. He broke me.
They can't even stand their life. They can't stand anything.
People think I'm tinfoil hat because I don't think he wanted a free and fair election this time.
I don't know if I'm going to get arrested today.
After the storming of the Capitol, after the vicious beating and ultimately later deaths of police officers, he had a approval rating well into the tank.
They were happy about that.
No chance of running.
They were happy about that.
And somehow, through his lies, through the kind of horrific conspiracy theory that they're coming after me despite his convictions for criminal counts, he was able to win the presidency again.
I am your retribution. I am your retribution.
But now everything, even his immigration numbers, are underwater. If the election was held today, he would lose. Because of the horrific way he's going about taking non-violent, non-criminal people and arresting them and throwing them to gulags in violation of Supreme Court orders.
We don't want you in our country. We don't want you.
What this president is doing is such a violation of the values of our nation. This is such a violation of common decency. It's such a violation of constitutional principles. It's such a violation of who we are as a country, and it is so wrong.
Damn, do I feel violated.
I don't know what he's going to do, but something is coming that's absolutely outrageous. We cannot allow that. We as Americans can chew gum and walk to
Shit's about to hit the fan in this country, okay?
Because you're a prosecutor, I want to ask you, there are legitimate reasons why some enforcement agencies go undercover to achieve certain things. I would assume that's specific and needs to comport with some laws.
There are very serious legal restrictions around the use of, for instance, FBI agents as undercover operatives. But you know what I've never seen a federal agent working a case do is pull a mask up so nobody knows who they are and go out and terrorize a civilian population. It's not acceptable, and it's a danger sign. The danger to law enforcement, quite frankly, is that when you're masked like that and people don't know who you are, someone might exercise their lawful right of self-defense to protect themselves, thinking they're being kidnapped. So the notion that this is for law enforcement's protection is utterly ludicrous, and we need to do away with that.
But you know what I've never seen a federal agent working a case do is pull a mask up so nobody knows who they are and go out and terrorize a civilian population. Someone might exercise their lawful right of self-defense to protect themselves.
It's not enough just to build back. Folks, it's time to build back better.
You yourself did something that a lot of people would call brave when you wrote your op-ed.
Well, I don't know if it was brave. It was a civic duty, because I found that people on my side of the street, you know, I'm a Democrat. I was a Democrat in Kentucky, so I get it. When I saw people on my side of the street not telling the truth, I thought that was time to...
Are people still mad at you for that?
Some people, sure.
Him and everybody around him.
Stop the shouting and lower the temperature.
I don't have to be nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. George Clooney is not a actor. He is a I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him. You know what? He supposedly treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. You, what do you have to do with anything? Why do I have to listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the New York Times to undermine the president.
It was a civic duty.
Enough. When's enough enough?
Shut up.
That's how.
Well, that's our visit to Stupid Town today. It's Taco Tuesday, so if you're up to it, go out and grab yourself some taco today, and after your work day is done, pour yourself a nice cold frozen margarita at home. Don't drive if you're drinking, remember that, and enjoy this Tuesday. It's a God-given day in the month of July, which has flown past us here. Not sure why things are speeding up. It could be the turn of the earth is moving faster, or I may be getting older. We haven't figured that out yet. But I wish you all would pray, and pray every day like you really mean it, for the leaders of the world, that they come to their senses and decide that war is no longer an option. Hate is no longer an option. And pray for our sitting Congress people and senators that they come to their senses and realize dividing this country is not the thing to do. And why one side of the aisle will not vote for anything the other side comes up for is a division, and it's a division that isn't helping anybody. If they think they're going to get reelected and take back the White House because they can divide this country the way they're trying to do, God's not going to let that happen, and we're going to pray and pray hard that it never lets that happen. So with that, we're going to wish you a wonderful rest of this Tuesday. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report here for more information and a look at stupidity from time to time. God bless you all, and bye-bye now.
Thank you.